Hey everybody, Master, back with Diablo 3, and this time we got the Barbarian up on the chopping block, and got him to level 70, and so I've been doing a little bit of Whirlwindage going on. I've been playing with a lot of different skills, and well, at 70, because I haven't found anything that's really supportive of any other of the Barbarian skills, I'm almost staying with somewhat of the same build. It's not quite the same as the Dreadnought, so it's really just a Whirlwind build. And what I meant by Barbarian items, there's weapons and certain few items that make other Barbarian skills more viable. Like, for instance, my friend found a mighty weapon, which is a hammer that made Seismic Slam cost half the Fury. So for 15 Fury, you can go around and Seismic Slam all day long. Makes that much more viable. So there's items out there that make other skills easier to use. Also, the Mortal King set 4-piece, you can put the Call of the Ancients up with every hit gives you 3 Fury, and basically be with max Fury and do whatever you want. Because the 4-piece makes it so the Call of the Ancients are out until they die, so they should be out quite some time. At least on Torment 1. So for my Whirlwind build, we're sticking with Whirlwind Wind Shear. I've tried all the other runes, and without Wind Shear, you just burn your Fury down to no tomorrow. Even with all the Fury generating passives, you still cannot keep that Fury up there. So they really killed Fury by removing the ability to get Fury with crits from Battle Rage there. So that's completely sad. Unless there's a pack, and then you can just stand in the stuff, and if you have enough toughness, you will get tons and tons of rage that way, or Fury. For my generator, I'm using Mighty Weapon Throw with Mighty Throw. I'm doing Mighty Throw for the extra damage because I'm using this more of a utilitarian spell than or ability than a Fury generator. I found in certain key fights like Malthael, it was awesome to be able to do stuff at range. You know, like when he had to run and hide when he jumps up and lands in the middle and does his big old AoE, and he had to duck around stuff. You know, I could still throw at him and still maintain some damage. And there's certain mobs where you know they fly off the map, and you can't whirlwind out to them. This gives you range ability, so you can sit at one place and still get some damage out there. So I really like the Weapon Throw as the Fury generator. Any Fury generator will do, just as long as you have one, because it is possible to burn out even with Wind Shear of all your Fury, so you need something just to back yourself up. I'm using, as one of my primary DPS burns, is Avalanche Volcano. Because its cooldown is reduced by 1 second for every every Fury 25 Fury you spend, it becomes a very substantial DPS move. I've done all the other ones. Glacier is nice. It does 1600% damage. Even though it falls for quite some time, the damage is still just 1600%. So it's one shot of damage and about 3 seconds of things falling that can freeze something. Tectonic Rift is interesting if you want to burst. If you have a lot of damage and you're just doing T1 runs, and you know, yeah, I mean like a lot of damage, like say 1,000,000 DPS. You know, those 3 charges, you can burst those 3 charges out of pack and maybe kill off that pack. I'm not quite sure. That'd be 16 million. Should be able to kill a pack off, or at least a couple of them, a couple of mobs in the pack. Snow-capped Mountain. This is nice. It does last for a little while, but again, the damage is just one shot of 1800%, and then it's about 3 seconds of this wall slamming into mobs that just kind of snare them. It looks pretty cool. The Lara rune, all this does is reduce the amount of fury needed to burn off the cooldown. But Volcano, what it says is it does 4,400% weapon damage as fire over 5 seconds. And it spews like these little rocks at things. And those rocks are what hits 4,400 divided by 5, which is about 850. And that's nice. But if you put that volcano underneath something, that volcano seems to burn things for a lot more damage, at least at the moment, until it's nerfed. If it gets nerfed. So that's what I tend to do with bosses, is drop that volcano underneath them, and it does like massive amounts of damage. And then because we're always whirlwinding around, we're burning off a ton of fury. I mean, this is 10 fury per second at the start of it. I'm dual wielding, so I'm burning even more fury. I'm actually doing 20 fury a second. So for every second, I'm burning off a second. So basically, I'm cutting the cooldown in Volcano in half already. And then every 5 seconds, I'm putting up a rend, which is almost taking off another second. And then even when you recast Battle Rage, that almost takes off another second as well. So, you know, Avalanche gets burned down pretty quickly. And with Volcano Rune, it has a 5-second uptime, so it doesn't feel like it's off so long. Bringing us up to Rend, I already said I'm using Bloodlust, especially with large packs and everything. That 0.5% of your maximum health per second for each affected mob is a lot of life. It's also still 200% weapon damage for 5 seconds. That's a lot of damage. Very, very good sustained damage move. One of the best life incomes, especially against large packs. Not so good against single target for life. The damage stays the same, single or big packs, it's still 200% extra damage. I'm doing Battle Rage with Marauder's Rage, give me the extra damage rating. A lot of people do like this Bloodshed. I don't have a lot of crit, and then it causes an extra 20% of the damage done. If there's nothing around to take the damage, it does nothing. So I'll just take the extra, extra 5% damage myself. I can count on it. I know it's there. And it works single target on single target bosses. That's very nice. But you can interchange runes all you want. I do Warcry Impunity, especially for that 20% resist all is awesome. And of course, Warcry is giving us extra armor, 20% for all our allies as well. Some allies really need that armor. Passives, Bloodthirst, because we're burning fury all the time anyways, that's a lot of life income, a lot of healing, and it's increased by our health globes, so it becomes a tremendous amount of healing. It's probably mandatory on a level 70 for at least the 4 slot. Maintaining all 3 fury generators is up to you. Superstition should definitely be mandatory for a reduction of 20% non-physical damage, and then you have a chance to gain 2 fury when you're hit by elemental attacks. I mean, that's just awesome. Unforgiving would probably be wanted over Animosity, unless you have like the Lich King 2-piece, which has this built in. Because this one, instead of losing fury, you generate fury, so it keeps you full. And then Animosity gives you an extra 10% fury generated and increases your fury by 20%, or by 20. Those are the ones I run. You can interchange as you will. I prefer to have it always available, and it's kind of needed at single target. And that's where I stay at. Some people kind of build for packs. I build for single target. If I have one mob left, I want to be able to kill it. I don't want to be weapon throwing and then spinning, weapon throwing and spinning. It's just boring to me. Gear-wise, unbuffed, I got the 207,000 damage and 8.3 million toughness. So I'm almost at where I want to be for the top-end Tier 1 farm to make it real life easy. I have swapped some items in between the Crusader and the Barbarian. Might as well. They work really well in between each other. So if you watched the Crusader video, you saw this drop. I switched this out with the shield because it's almost the same toughness. I lost a little bit of toughness, about 10%, and I gained 10% DPS, which I wanted. So, you know, depending on where your toughness is, but it gave me a 20% healing somehow. I think it was with the attacks per second and my life per hit and my life per kill, because I have a high life per hit and a high life per kill, and your attacks per second will affect your healing rate that way. So I went with it. I tried it out. I also want to burn more fury to get the avalanche up. I also want to burn more fury to get my life per fury spent going. So as you can see, I got 888 life per fury spent. And if I'm doing an average of 1.8 to 1.9, so we'll say 1.85 fury spent, you know, that's about 1,500, 1.5, that's 1.85 times 10 for the Whirlwind, so 18.5 fury spent a second times 888. So it's about 15,000 life a second I'm getting just for whirlwinding, not counting my life per hit. You know, even though there's a big coefficient on whirlwind because it hits so much, I'm still getting tons of life in. So it's a massive life income. We want that. Unbuffed, you can see I'm sitting at 982 resist all, 73% damage reduced, 76% damage reduced through armor. So I got a nice damage reduction going on before I even hit my buffs. You want to do the same thing. Build your armor up through strength. You don't gun for it on gear, gun for resist all. So it kind of comes close to what your armor is doing in damage reduction. That way it synergizes, stack up your health to match it, and have healing so you can recover the damage being done, and you're basically synergizing those three stats. And then you'll find that damage comes along with the gear you're starting to get. I got a Wildwood on, kind of a funny name. It actually dropped on the wizard. I just changed the main stat over to strength, and all of a sudden it's a pretty phenomenal weapon for my Barbarian. You saw this one drop on the Crusader, and now it's a nice offhander. I got Bolcatha's Wedding Band. I decided to keep it on even though it's a level 61. Drain life from enemies around me. I'm not sure what that does, but I'll take any kind of life income I can. And it's still a pretty good ring. Not too many else out there is pretty good. I'm keeping the puzzle ring on for the extra chance for loot. I switched over my gladiator gauntlets so I can get some extra gold because I'm poor. 270,000 gold, not much. I swapped over the blind faith for that 40% chance to blind on hit. I'm hitting all the time, so that's going to come in really handy. I kept this on, the Rondel's Locket, because it reduces all resource costs, helps me whirlwind more, especially when I'm dual wielding because I'm burning off so much extra fury. I'm going to need that. Everything else is strength, vitality, resist all. This is lightning damage. The whirlwind is lightning damage, so I'm getting some extra damage from the whirlwind. The weapon throws lightning damage, so that's getting some extra damage. You know, try to key things in where you can, and that's it. Passive-wise, I went with, well, I got vitality here. Actually, at 484, I'm going to knock that down to strength. Strength will give me DPS and toughness. Not as much toughness, but it'll give me a little bit more DPS. I got attack speed because attack speed pays off 2 to 1. It's a critical chance, so I might as well go with it. Resist all because the resistances we know we need. And life on hit to keep the healing incoming. Accept that. So you can see my toughness went down a little bit, but my damage went up a little bit. So I got damage and toughness by going with strength because my armor is now a little bit, a little bit more solid. And then buffing up, I'm at my 10 million, and I actually exceeded my 200k. But because Whirlwinding is a little bit less damage and capable, we want a little higher damage rating anyway. Alright, so we'll go kill the butcher, show it off. It'll be pretty easy. So I just put Rend up in the middle of the pack. They'll never kill me with Rend. You can see it's easily maintained. I do have on the Templar everything set up to heal. I do not have the extra Fury generation. So this is what the Fury will look like. See? In a group. Like this, even with the dual wield. There's my massacre bonus. Gold. It's not the goblin giving me gold. It's my gloves giving me gold. You want to kill him faster, you pop the tornado or the volcano down, and things will die in heartbeats. And you can see that cooldown is burning down very fast. Anytime I pop the volcano down, I just refresh my buffs. Because Battle Rage helps burn down the cooldown. A little bit of lag. If you hit lag, just keep hitting your buttons so your skills are staying active. I went with Volcano over Sprint because I found out you have to move a lateral distance to get the whirlwinds from Sprint to drop. So you can't spin in a circle and have the whirlwind drop. It's kind of silly. All you're getting out of it's movement speed. If I really wanted that, you know, I'd just go for it on a passive. Got my gold. I'm not sure if the gloves give me more gold if I get a higher massacre bonus or not. It seems to give me about 1,000 each time, but they're also smaller massacres. Oh, we got a pack. Illusionists, they should never kill you too. As long as you're keeping up that rend. You know, move out of the freeze where you can. But sometimes, like, there's, you know, you can't even see the stuff on the bottom. I think the game developers personally made it so you can't see the freeze to make it more challenging as well. If you have to get out of there, stop whirlwinding if there's no mobs on you. If you're in the middle of the mobs, keep the whirlwind going. Otherwise, you won't be able to move. So you'll move faster without the whirlwind. Another pack. Easy enough. Well, this is a quick find, huh? Well, this would be nice. He's actually real easy with a mobility build because he'll have a tough time hitting you. Because he's so tall, it's a little bit harder to see if you're maintaining the rend, but in this case you want to stay in the fire because he's not hitting you. We generate fury by sustaining damage. Or you can stay in front of them and just take his shots. But imagine this without the wind shear, you'd be out of fury in about a heartbeat. And it's still pretty easy. Even with the fury problems with the single target and no damage. Yeah, that wrecks. I really like that weapon throw. It does a lot of damage because it ties in with what you're already doing already. You can really just stack the lightning damage. And then the volcano's fire, but that's alright because it does massive damage already. I wouldn't stack against it. I also wouldn't stack against Rend because it's really the life that you want for it and the extra 200%. Go with the two skills that tie in together. But that's about it. So, I hope it helps. Hope you guys enjoy. And I'll talk to everybody later.